There was a certain kind of magic to Christmas in the 1970s. The kind that glowed through tinsel, buzzed faintly from electric lights, and smelled like pine needles mixed with aerosol snow. Before Pinterest trees and synchronized light shows, holiday decorating was more about heart than perfection. It was about what you had and what you kept year after year. Even when the glitter wore thin and the cords started to fray. Step inside a 1970s living room in December and you'd feel it right away. Warm, cluttered, twinkling, and so perfectly alive. Do you remember them? Those giant plastic candles standing like sentinels in every front window, glowing softly against the cold December night. The kind we plugged in once and left on until New Year's. Their red and gold plastic, maybe slightly scratched from years of attic storage. They didn't flicker, they hummed. A gentle electric warmth that somehow made the whole house feel alive. Every neighborhood had them. You'd drive down the street after dark, seeing those glowing candles in window after window, casting halos of light through frosty glass. Some families went all out, pairing them with blinking lights, aluminum trees, and even a motorized Santa. But others kept it simple. Just two steady flames, one in each window, like a quiet promise that Christmas had arrived. If you were a kid back then, maybe you were the one asked to plug them in. That tiny ritual, reaching behind the curtains, feeling for the switch, made you feel like you just lit a beacon of holiday magic. And even when the bulbs grew dim or the cords got tangled, no one ever threw them away. They weren't just decorations. They were traditions made of light, humming faintly through every Christmas Eve. And inside, on the coffee table, wasn't there always that one candy dish? Heavy glass, scalloped edges, sitting right there like a trophy. Inside, a rainbow of ribbon candy, so beautiful it looked too perfect to eat. And honestly, it was almost impossible to, wasn't it? You'd reach for a piece only to realize they'd all fused together into one sticky sculpture of peppermint art. But still, you tried. We all did. Next to it were those jewel-toned sugar jellies, soft, glistening little fruit slices that left a trail of sugar dust wherever they went. No one could ever quite decide who bought them, but somehow they always appeared right after Thanksgiving and stayed there, admired, mostly uneaten until New Year's. There was something deeply comforting about that dish. It wasn't about the candy itself. It was about what it meant. It was the centerpiece of the season, sitting there beside a bowl of walnuts, a stack of Christmas cards, and maybe a few stray tinsel strands. Guests would politely pick at it. Kids would sneak a piece, and moms would refill it just to keep the room looking festive. And that crystal dish, that exact same one, probably still sits in someone's house today. Empty now maybe, but still catching the light of the tree, holding memories instead of candy. And what were we listening to? Before Spotify or streaming, Christmas music came on vinyl. And if you grew up in the 70s, you probably heard the holidays spinning straight out of a Firestone or Goodyear record sleeve. These weren't just albums, they were events. Mom or Dad would bring one home from the tire store, Yes, the tire store. Those glossy covers promised the great songs of Christmas, and they delivered. Andy Williams, Perry Como, Doris Day. Their voices filled every corner of the living room. The console stereo was the centerpiece, that big wooden cabinet. Dad would carefully drop the needle and then sit back in his recliner, like a man who had just tuned in Christmas itself. Every pop and crackle in the vinyl became part of the soundtrack. You could practically feel the warmth of the room when the Christmas song came on. And here's the beautiful thing. Those albums weren't just one-season wonders. Families collected them year after year. Firestone, Goodyear, True Value. By the end of the decade, some households had stacks of them beside the stereo. A little musical time capsule of Christmases gone by. For many of us, those songs still are the sound of Christmas. The moment that needle hits the groove, it's like opening a snow globe. One filled with laughter, tinsel, and the faint smell of wrapping paper. And hanging on the mantel, do you remember the stockings? Not the store-bought kind. The homemade masterpieces stitched with love, patience, and about 1,000 sequins. Bucilla felt stocking kits were everywhere. Mom would spread the felt pieces out on the dining table, squinting at the little pattern guide, sewing tiny beads one by one. Each stocking was its own story. A snowman with a crooked grin, a reindeer with silver hooves. The sequins caught the light from the tree and shimmered like magic. Every family had at least one. A little lopsided maybe, but perfect in its own way. These were projects, weeks in the making. Moms and grandmas took pride in finishing one before Christmas Eve. When you saw your stocking hung up, sparkling under the glow of colored bulbs, you knew Christmas had truly arrived. Even today, those Bucilla stockings are some of the most cherished heirlooms. A little faded maybe, but still hanging proudly, filled with both candy canes and memory. And on the tree, oh, the shiny Brite ornaments. Weren't they something? So fragile, dazzling, and a little nerve-wracking to hang. They shimmered in stripes of pink, gold, and turquoise, reflecting the glow of colored lights. You handled them like fine china, and every box had one that was slightly chipped. The back of the tree ornament. We all had one. And what about the cards? Before inboxes and e-cards, there were real cards. Glittery angels, gold script, and red foil bells. Mom would hang a long piece of yarn across the doorway and clip each card with clothespins, creating a wall of well wishes. The more cards you had, the fuller the house felt. Each one was a reminder that someone, somewhere, thought of you. For that final touch on the mantel, we had angel hair snow. It looked so heavenly, didn't it? Soft, shimmery. But the moment we touched it, we realized we'd made a mistake. Angel hair was made of spun glass, and anyone who's handled it remembers the tiny itch it left behind. Still, it made the lights sparkle just a little bit more, and that was worth the risk. And did your grandma have one? That ceramic Christmas tree, glowing from within, dotted with tiny, multicolored plastic pegs. It sat proudly on the TV console or end table. Some were green, some white, and if you were lucky, yours still had every peg intact. The hum of the television mixed with the soft light from that ceramic tree. It was the very definition of Christmas calm. Nearby, perhaps, was the nativity set. It wasn't fancy. Maybe the Woolworth set. Made of chalky, hand-painted figurines. It came out of the same worn box every year. Baby Jesus was chipped. One of the wise men leaned slightly, and the donkey had been glued more than once. But none of that mattered. It wasn't about perfection. It was about tradition. And one last stop, maybe in the bathroom, where Santa-shaped Avon cologne bottles lined the counter like a festive army. They smelled vaguely of aftershave and powder, but they weren't really for using, were they? They were for showing. Every year, another bottle joined the collection. A snowman, a reindeer, an angel. Each one, a tiny time capsule of holiday cheer in molded glass. A 1970s Christmas living room wasn't about matching color schemes or designer trees. It was about warmth. The glow of lights, the hum of records, the clutter of memories layered year after year. The plastic candles still flickered in the window. The felt stockings sagged just a little, and the candy dish stayed untouched. But every piece of it told a story. It was a Christmas made of real things, handmade, hand-me-down, and heartfelt. And even if the angel hair made you itch and the lights tangled every single year, you wouldn't trade it for anything. Because that living room, that glow, that feeling was home. What's your most cherished memory from those 1970s Christmases? Was it the sound of the vinyl, the smell of the pine, or a special ornament? Please share your story in the comments below. And if you love these memories, please subscribe so we can share more together.